So, Larry, could I have a bit more powder on the top of my head?
Sorry, we're going live in 5.
Yes, I know that, but could I have just a bit of powder? I think my bald patch is showing. If you could do something with that. And could somebody just mop the floor? Julia's just broken her waters, and that doesn't look good. You all right, Julia?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, good. Right, okay.
Considering.
Is the nurse standing by? Yeah, I might just faint. I mean, if I see blood, you know what it's like. I might just faint.
Yeah, the nurse is standing by just behind you to the left side of the camera.
Thank you. Well, we're nearly... I think we've gone up a bit early. Never mind. I think we'd better get on with the show, don't you? Yeah.
Perhaps.
Perhaps we should. Here it goes then.
In 5, 3, 2, 1.
And we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting...
Vobes show.
Vobes show, yes, with the lovely Julia.
And the equally lovely, or if not more,
Yes.
Richard Vobes.
Hey! Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen. It's lovely to see you. I hope that you are all well on this incredibly sort of middle of the week, not
windy day.
Windy, not sunny, overcast. Well, it is where we are.
But still muggy.
And where you are, it may have changed since we've recorded the show. It may be completely different. And we hope it is. We hope it is much nicer. Now, let me just open up the chat box so that we can see if there's any poor people out there who have nothing else better to do on a Wednesday evening and want to talk to us live. Because if there are, we want to talk to them, don't we, Julia?
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, so here we are, the Vobes show on another day. I hope you found us all right. If you've not been looking and we suddenly pinged up into your world for whatever reason, hello. You can talk to us. It's a special way somewhere on YouTube. I don't know. I've never actually done it myself to anybody else. But, you know, I've never done a lot of things, to be fair. Have you? No. Let's find out who's there. Lovely Julia, you've got the chat box fairly close to you.
We have Peter May. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Simon Brown.
Hello, Simon Brown.
Jeff Kellison.
Hello, Jeff Kellison.
Anne Osborne. Hello.
Hello, Anne. Hello.
Mark Selwood. Hello, Vobenites.
Hello, Marky Poos.
Cheryl. Hello.
Hello, Cheryl, right up there north. Can you see us, mother?
Claire Leach. How are you all?
She's very well, actually.
Yes, she is.
Apparently. I don't know. I just made that bit up. But I'm sure she is. She's probably tired because she works very hard now. She's got a new job.
She does.
And she charges about on a horse. No, not on a horse. Don't put words into my mouth. She charges about looking after people.
Yes.
So she's very tired. She's very exhausted. So the best thing is she can put her feet up with a nice brandy and watch the pair of us. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah. So, hello and welcome along. Steve Pilfold is there. He says, I've turned down 13 women tonight. Have you? That's nice.
Barbara Charles, we have.
Hello, Barbara.
Ricky Bryan, hello.
Hello, Ricky. How the devil are you?
Joe Merchant.
Yes, good old Joe.
Hello.
Hello. To good old Joe. Got to be done.
Yeah.
And Mark said, so can we converse? Of course we can. Our mouths move. That is the lovely... it's beautiful down here, isn't it? It is, isn't it?
Just like that.
They just flap about.
Just flap.
Well, we do a lot of flapping in this world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in tonight's show, we've got a new... What's in the box? Julia's got the box over there. She's going to rattle it for you.
Not quite as well planned out and thought about as
it's
last
a lovely.
week's.
It's not from Melinda Kane, but this is from somebody else actually.
It's not what it says on the box.
No, what does it say on the box?
It says organic sun-dried tomatoes in oil.
Oh, what a shame! I quite like some orgasmic.
From a company called Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, let down your orgasmic tomatoes in oil. I quite fancy some, lass. And from up north I am suddenly. Why, Rapunzel, you cheeky monkey, eh? Hey?
Which coffee did you have?
I didn't have a coffee. I've got a cup of tea. This is Puckley tea.
Buckley tea.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if Elaine Brazier is watching. Last week you sent us some lovely Puckley tea, and I've been drinking it. Very nice, and it reminded me, I don't know if you listened to on the Bald Explorer channel, to the Sunday podcast recorded in 2010. I went to see the Kent and Sussex Tea Company based near Pluckley in Kent, and that's where they make that tea. And I'm going back next week with the lovely Julia, unless she's sort of...
Is it bad luck to cross both sets?
Sets of what?
Fingers.
I have no idea. I've crossed mine now. What, hoping that you're not coming with me?
Hoping that I am coming.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go up to the Kent and Sussex Tea Company. They do... Kent and Sussex... Yeah, tea and coffee. They do tea and coffee because you adore coffee. This is the lovely Julia.
Hates it.
Hates it.
I hates it.
But
precious.
they hates it. But they hates it. Well, both of them. Probably the little Baba who's not yet to be born.
Baby does not need caffeine.
No,
Like that,
no.
no.
Let's just pause the conversation there for one moment whilst we go into a segment that we've just invented called
Baba Talk. Hello, Baba.
Do we have to?
Yes. How is the baby these days?
Oh.
Yes.
Baba
As long as we
Talk.
don't have to
Baba
talk.
did-
Like
No, we don't have to
that.
talk. That was just the intro bit. That was
Oh, okay.
I got voiceover artists from the other side of the world to
My
do
bad.
it.
I
Yeah.
didn't realise.
I'll do it again. Time for that wonderful thing called...
Baba Talk. Hello, Baba.
So, how is the baby these days since we last saw you, Julia?
Very well. Thank you very much, Richard.
Good. I'm very pleased to see it, hear about it.
Wonderful.
Have you been having late nights disturbed by movement in the nether regions, near the bowels, but not quite in them, but above, nearby, sort of thing, in the body, enclosed in
That's
skin?
slightly too much information, but as it happens.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, have you? Oh, dear. And do you have a remedy for such times when you cannot sleep with the baba moving about?
Usually get up again.
Oh, dear, do you?
Yeah.
And what do you do? Stroll? Do you strut about the house? Do you? I can imagine you strutting with your baby bouncing about.
I think strutting is a bit too much of a
Activity?
glamorous word.
Oh,
It's
strutting.
it's more like a
Stomp.
maternity gymnastics
Oh, right. Okay.
and contortionism, trying
I can't imagine you contort.
to match the shape that the baby's making within my belly.
Does it make you jiggle about?
Yes.
I imagine that the baby must on occasions just sit in a certain area that makes you go, oh, I need to go to the loo.
Excuse the TMI, but sometimes, quite
Yes.
often actually, at the moment,
Yeah.
I'm getting
'Cause
kicked
the
from
big-
the wrong side. Well, there's no right side to be kicked in your nethers, but
No.
from the
Ooh,
inside,
no.
it's definitely not the nicest.
No, luckily that baby has not kicked me in the nethers, which would be very odd if it could.
Oh, it would be very, very odd.
Zip! Poof! Zip! Zip!
Okay, that's enough of baby
Let's
talk.
go back to see who's out there and what they're talking about, and then we'll get on to more about what's in the box. So, good evening, Richard and Julia, says Fiona Russell. Good evening to you, Fiona Russell. Hello. Very nice to see you. Andy Dalgleish says, good evening, fellow Vobinators. Or
Vobesters.
Vobesters.
Mark Selwood says, can we have a new game? What's in Richard's gob?
What's in What? That's a good game.
Good game. All right, my love. Let's look at the old floorboard. Terry and June, 2 points. Malcolm and Sydney, 3. Did they do well?
Steve Pilfold says it is a nice shirt, but it is saturating the lights.
It is saturating the lights. I do apologise for that.
Sorry
but
about
what
it.
can I... yeah, sorry about it. It's silk. It's a silk shirt, ladies and gentlemen, with links of cuff. So,
He also says,
yes.
Steve Pilfold, where in Sussex, says, I used to drink Sussex tea made by them when I worked at Pevensey Signal Box.
Oh, did they? When he was too busy doing all... Because he doesn't do this anymore. It's all on the computer now. We learnt that last week, that he is not the image. Not the image I had of Steve Pilfold as this sort of burly chap who clambers up the ladder into the signal box with his cap and his little cardigan on there and his flask of coffee and his pair of binoculars, looking up the line, waiting to see if the signal goes. And it goes, no, of course the signal doesn't go because I've not actually made it go, but I'll wait for the phone call and it goes... Oh, he goes, just a moment. Hello, Whitehall, 1212. Sorry, signal box 485, yes. Oh, the Victoria to Brighton is just leaving. I'll change the signal immediately. What to? to about 32 megahertz. All right. Because I'm sure the signals must go in megahertz, mustn't they? Or ohms or something. Something like that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, on with the show. So we've got a what's in the box, which we will guess a little bit later on. But there's the box. You get the size of it. What is in it? Apart from fresh air and Julia's hand on the outside. There's always that. Cup of tea settles all problems, says Joe Merchant. It's very true. Here's my tea. I'm going to slurp. Linda Kane says they're posh. Cufflinks? ? What's with the cufflinks, Julia?
They're very lovely cufflinks, aren't they? I believe them to be turquoise inlaid.
Yes, you can't see them from back here.
Engraved nicely, very pretty.
Here's one I made earlier. Now, I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a shirt. And I know it's a bit bright in the lights because I didn't have a chance to light for the shirt, you see. But it's a gift. It is a gift from, I can't say who because I was told not to, but it's a gift from one of our contributors. May or may not be watching, not going to say, but very lovely gesture. There's another shirt that's white, which would be even more brighter, with cufflinks as well.
Yeah,
so
they've got red stone inlay on the other ones.
Very
pretty.
Very pretty. So big thank you very much to the person. Doesn't it look nice? Doesn't it? Shall I give them a twirl?
Yes, give them a
Yes.
twirl.
Hang on, I've got the chocolate
I got
bars
gifts
down
as
here.
well.
Twirl.
Well, baby did.
There we go, a bit of a twirl. Bit of a funny old twirl. Anyway, there are some there's some other bits and pieces, but we'll go into that another day. But wanted to show you that. And the lovely Julia, unfortunately...
Yeah, I was a bit silly. I took them home.
You took them home?
And left them there.
Yeah, but what were they?
They were absolutely adorable little moccasin shoes for the baby.
Oh, they were adorable. Little tiny, little lovely, very, very delicate and soft.
There was one tiny pair for newborn. They looked like little Pocahontas shoes. Oh my God,
Pocahontas,
so gorgeous.
Poke the baby, poke the Hontas, poke, 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 go to sleep, poke, 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 go to sleep, poke, 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 take your shoes away. There's a risk in the show today of me having a damaged cranium. If you see a book being raised, please shout out, it's behind you.
It's above you.
It's clunking you. Anyway,
I need a...
What do you need? A hammer?
I was going to say, like the dove from above.
Oh, a dove.
Smack you.
The dove from...
Actually, no, the gull from above.
Yeah.
Come and take him.
The gull from... might do a slippery.
Oh, no, there's been a spate of there's a spate of jokes about gulls because a gull attacked someone's chihuahua or something.
Oh, right. I went out with a gull once. She was very nice. Anyway, Mark Selwood says the shirt looks just as smart from behind. Either that or he thinks my behind looks very smart. One of the two. Can't quite that. Fiona Russell says, I like a man in a shirt. Hello, Fiona. Nice to see you. I'm in the shirt.
You got him excited now.
Yeah. Maybe you'd like me out of the... Anyway, I better just have some drink here.
Calm down. I'll get the bucket of cold water.
Oh, no, don't do that again. Linda Kane says, well done. Somebody obviously wants to smarten him up. Charming. Do you think normally I'm looking pretty slovenly on the show? Am I like some country bumpkin?
No, but you're very, very Englishman.
Yes, very
about
English.
It.
Yes.
Whereas this isn't so English, is it?
Is it not?
No.
I can tell. I'll let you into a little secret. This has come from overseas. I don't know what. I'm not going to tell you which seas it's come over. I think it was the third letter in the alphabet, but one of them anyway.
Chortle, chortle.
I am a shirt fan, says the lovely Claire Leach. Hello, Claire. Next time I come, I will make sure I put clothes on when I come round your house instead of in the usual, in the natural.
I'm going to be bright red by the
Robert Croser says Vic and Bob. Oh, the skull from beyond. What was it?
Yeah.
The dove from above. Yeah, there we are. Showing our age. Robert Croser says it's a nice shirt. Prefer navy blue. Well, you can't please everybody, can you?
It's a good colour, navy blue.
It is a good cover.
Put your t-shirt in, love.
I will put to me.
Put your t-shirt
I will
in,
do my best. Sorry if we miss any of your comments. If we miss some of your comments, do feel free to write again on a postcard. Now, talking of postcards, I got... You may not realise this. It was my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday for yesterday.
Happy birthday for yesterday. Squash tomatoes and splash today. I got this card to me. Now look at that. It's a card full of cows, right? It's a nice card.
It's funny cows as well. There's calculator.
There's a calculator.
Camouflage.
Camouflage.
Wonderbull.
That's me, Wonderbull.
Frisian cold.
Yeah, all in the winter.
Cold, I think. Legendary.
Legendary.
Bulldozer in pyjamas. Count Dracmula.
Dracmula.
Lawn mower.
Yeah,
and
lawn mower.
Holy cow.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Now, on the inside, there is a note. Just show them the note just briefly. Look at that. It's written in handwriting.
Very, very nice handwriting.
Julia is going to read out what it says because we are slightly miffed.
We're not miffed, but we're very confuddled.
Yes, we have no idea who sent it. We thought we would be very clever and decipher, and I went and had a look at the postmark. And you know, it's the one time when
Didn't have one.
And I could
thank you,
use
Mark.
that stamp again. So I cut it out and I put it in a special tray that I've got when I use a bit of Pritt stick and I stick it on letters that have to go to governmental offices, which of course I have a lot of those for my other work that I do underseas. Anyway, so Julia now is going to... This is a feature that we've also equally just invented called...
Julia reads something out.
And now Julia is going to read something out. Julia.
Dear Richard, with a double E. Not the Richard.
Oh, yes.
Dear.
Dear Richard. You've got to get the puns in this. I forgot about that.
Brackets, legend. We heard, with no A, it was your birthday and were moved to send you this lovely card. Beautiful, isn't it?
It's lovely, isn't it?
The thought was that if you knew a little more about us, then it would maybe let us be friends. Sorry, let us be friends.
Let us be as in bzz, friends.
Let us the salad.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, all right. Just checking. Checking. Have a great time with lots of cows.
Is that
cheese.
great spelt Grate? Yes,
Tis
it
indeed.
is. As in the S has got a great.
Yeah. Enjoy your day. Daisy, Buttercup, and Modena.
And Modena. And who the hell sent that? That's what I want to know. I am miffed. Miffed. I don't know who sent it. So if it's one of you lot, thank you so much. It's very kind. But please, own up. Now, don't all own up. Don't all start going, I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. Yes, thank you very much. I'm Brian. What? Brian, you're in the wrong film. So behind us here, you may be aware there are other cards. The lovely Fiona Cooper sent me a card with a big stack of money in it. Thank you, Fiona, by the way. I have been straight down to the pawn shop and paid off all my debts. You'll be pleased to know. So what have we got here? Robert Croce has disappeared off the screen. Harry's Adventures also disappeared off the screen. Thank you very much. I think he said happy birthday. Ooh, Hippo Birdie to you. Thank you very much, Joe.
Oh, it's all there.
Yeah, it's right at the top. Julia has a tan, says Robert Croce. Yes, she has a tan. I tanned her hide only this morning. When I say this morning, I didn't actually mean that bit. Looking very dapper, Mr. Vobes says. Andy Dalgleish, Julia has a tan. Yes, happy birthday, Richard Clare Leach. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Henry's Adventure says, I do that with stamps. I reuse them. Yes! Why not?
Waste not, want not.
Exactly. Just what my granny said, just as she died, and I didn't know what to do with her body, so I stuck it in the ground. Mark Selwood says, I'm a big fan of Reeves and Mortimer. They both helped me out from a dark period in my life when they came round and fixed my lights.
During the early 90s with the smell.
No, in the dark period in his life, they came round and fixed his lights. That was
Yeah.
All right, just a little joke there.
I've had a few too many, haven't I?
Yeah, you have.
Of those jokes.
Love Vic and Bob. Anyway, never mind about Vic and Bob, thank you very much. What about Julia and Richard?
Iranu.
Had a busy birthday, deleting birthday greetings from the group, says Steve Pelfold. Yes, very busy that was. Delete. There were so many of them. Delete. Oh, I don't know. Terrible thing, isn't it? But you see, the trouble was, the lovely Nikki Jess had said a nice birthday to Mark Selwood, and it was happy birthday, belated Mark, for the other week. But, you couldn't... I had to sort of say something about that because I didn't want suddenly the whole group just to be everybody saying happy birthday, because we got lots of people in there and almost you'd have a birthday at least once a week, if not several times a week. And so if you then allowed that to go through... And then, of course, I couldn't let people say happy birthday to me, having chastised the lovely Nikki and Mark for their one. So one had to do something. Wake up, little Susie.
Wake up.
Wake up. Anyway, I'm working on my tan down in Cornwall, says Mark. Yeah, you've probably got all the sun now. We seem to have got rid of it.
Yeah.
Robert Croser says it's a nice card. Andy Delgee says nice one, Mark. First saw Vic. Oh, no, he's talking about Vic and Bob. Right. So what's in the box? Let's have a little shake up in the what's in the box one more time. You can guess. There's one person probably out there, maybe, we're not saying whether they're watching or not, who will probably recognise this when it comes out the box, but I'm not saying who. And it may have a relation to something that you can see, but we're saying no more than that. So all lots of little clues, but otherwise you'll never guess it. So now, the lovely Julia got me a nice little present, did you not? She took me out for lunch yesterday. We went for a slap up meal in a very posh restaurant, and she poured soup all over my head. We shared a big plate of nachos.
That's good.
They were very nice with a chili on it and lots of other stuff, which was very nice. And these were homemade nachos. None of your shop bought Sainsbury's ones, just with a bit of grated cheese that you get in posh restaurants. Down at Greasy Joe's, he knows he gets a bit of old tyre and a bit of sump oil. Works a treat, and it was very nice. And then you had a steak, and she thrust it into my heart and hammered it home, which wasn't very painful. Wasn't pleasant. Dear. Yes, everyone.
I'm struggling to keep up tonight.
So, but we had a lovely meal, and I had a jalapeno burger. I went jalapeno, and off it went. So that was delightful. And then she came bounding in this morning. Oh, somebody at the door. I hid under the doormat and everything, but no, she had to come in. She slipped through the letterbox. It's quite a big letterbox. It's basically the door where the door was. And she said, I got you a little present. Show the lovely viewer what it is, please, if you wouldn't mind. It's called...
Colin's Complete Guide to British
Oh, I was reading it back to front. Oh, yes, Colin's Complete... Yeah, so packed with lots of well-chosen details in compact form.
Yes. I always find that these books are indeed pretty comprehensive, and for the amount of comprehension there is in there, it's pretty compact. What's the word I'm looking for?
I have no
portable.
Oh, it's a portable compendium of
not the lightest, but
No, but
whack it in a book or in a bag or a car.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and we will do that. We will put it in a bag or in a car, whichever is easier to carry with handles.
We now know that there's a lot more mallows than we thought.
Do you know, we settled down for at least 5 seconds and looked at the mallow page, and we mellowed right over with marshmallow, bush mallow, this mallow, that mallow, upper mallow, down...
Tall mallow, short mallow.
Fat mallow, thin mallow. You're mallow, I'm
Smooth
mallow.
Rough mallow.
Mallow. Police mallow.
Marshmallow, hill mallow.
Anyway, it was all very good. So, is feathers in the box, says Joe. No, feathers are not in the box. Cremated steak you had. I didn't have a cremated one, actually. Did you have a cremated one?
No.
Because she couldn't have it as whatever.
Couldn't have it as
raw as
medium,
she normally do.
Yeah,
good book. I've got Colin's book on crisp packets and ring pulls, says. Yeah, thanks. That was one just going there. Steve says, I'm in shock that Vobes knows that jalapeno is pronounced with an H. When I worked in the pizza industry in my 20s, the number of people who didn't know was shocked. And they still call it... Jalapenos. It's ha. There's this... sort of Donald Duck effect. I can't actually do Donald Duck. Lucky escape.
Clearly.
Lucky escape for everybody. But it's jalapeno. You see, we in the old days in the Vobe show, we did used to say jalapeno. We had some sent over from Mexico. Then our Mexican listener went, Oi! Hey, arrande. However it goes. Arrande, whatever. Anyway.
I'm not helping you.
He corrected me. He says, "Hey, Richard, it's
Italian.
It's
apparently.
Italian." He said, "It's arriva." How does it go? Arriba. Something like that. I don't know. That's how you get into it. Hey, gringo. Oh, that's how they talk, isn't it? Hey, gringo.
Oh, no. Kinda
Eat
got
the jalapeno.
They've got that sort of
jalapeno on a stick.
On a stick, you want to die? No, Mr. Bond. I want to live.
Anyway, we're mixing up all our metaphors, and
I don't know where we're going with any of this, but okay.
the reason I was in shock is thanks to the Vobes fire heaters, which are known as fire heaters here. Yes, I always say fire heaters. That made her laugh.
This makes me chuckle.
Yes.
The chili plant I bought him is called Hot Fajita.
Oh, does it? Yes.
Oh,
yes, it was a hot fire
the
heater.
breed of it.
Linda Kane says, I've gobbed all over the lens. Have I really? Is there a big gob on the lens? I can't see a big gob on the lens.
surprise
Oh, there's my
me.
gob on the
This ate.
How are we doing on the time? Blimey, we're 24 minutes in. I made a list of things to talk about as well because we were a bit worried that we didn't have enough. So what's in the box? We haven't quite got to. We'll give it another 10 minutes and let people have a go.
Stew on this one.
Yes. What have we got here? Done the mystery card. Now, I've written down here the power of positive, ladies and gentlemen. And the love Julia has no idea why I've written
And what, pray tell, do you mean by this?
the power of positive. Well, Boris Johnson is the new Prime Minister. And I don't want to talk politics, but, he's coming
He's going to.
No.
Sounds like
no. No. Now I'm standing like Nigel Farage out. No. Boris Johnson is the new Prime Minister, and he's gone in with a power of positive. And I thought that's great. We need a bit of positive in life. And I've heard a number of people talking about positive thinking as a good thing. And I thought, well, that's an interesting subject. And I wondered what you think, you out there, you people in Merkland. I can't see you. It's very murky behind the lights there. It's all dark in the studio here behind the lights. But what do you think? I want to know, ask you, are you a half glass empty person or a glass that's half full? Are you generally optimistic or are you pessimistic?
I'm both.
You can't be both. I'm
Right.
sorry, you've got to pick one.
Bloody am.
Are you? So you fluctuate from... But what would you
Yes.
say? Are you sunny side up? Or, generally, say 80% of the time, are you generally sunny side up and
Both.
think good things... Not what? Generally?
Well, you've got to remember, I've kind of got a slightly... I'm not schizophrenic, but I've got a slightly fractured personality. So I can, on one side, I'm thinking... I don't know how to explain any of that. But yes, no, I'm both. Yes, no, I'm both. See?
This is why I have her on the show, ladies and gentlemen. I love the clarity and the succinctness of her argument. But how about yourselves? If you could be equally as clear and precise, with such precision that we would understand exactly what you're talking about, then please tell me, are you like that? Wherein says, I don't want to talk bollock tolerance. What? I don't want to talk politics, but Boris Johnson. No, I'm not I'm just using that as that's something in the current situation. And he's sort of gone in with a positive attitude. So I'm just wondering, are people out there generally who is more optimistic than pessimistic?
So we have...
So what do we got, Julia?
I've lost it. Where is it?
I have no idea. What glass is
Half
Andy
empty for me, says Lara.
Half empty?
Andy Dalgley says, what glass?
What glass? Yeah, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got Linda Kane says, haven't got a glass. Will a mug do?
Yes, a mug would do.
But
Is
she
it?
says more pessimistic than she used to be.
Oh, right. And I'm not talking about pessimistic about, the current state of the government or anything like that. I'm not talking
No,
politics. Just life. Personally, life
Robert
in general.
Croser says he's a natural pessimistic but jolly demeanour mostly. I think I'd kind of go with that.
So to read that one out again this time,
Natural
I listen.
pessimistic but jolly demeanour mostly.
So you're naturally pessimistic. So when you set out to do something, do you think, oh, it's going to happen? Or are you one of those people that think, well, I'm going to try it, but it probably won't succeed?
Yeah, I'll visualise it happening, but there's that pessimistic side of me that's just going to be like, it's not going to work, though, is it?
So I know that there's this argument that people who are pessimistic say, well, you haven't got it to begin with, and if you don't expect it, when it happens, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
And that's, so people go through life. Whereas,
If you're an optimist, you can only be disappointed.
yes, you can have that thought, I'm going to achieve that goal of running 752,000 miles in 2 seconds, and then discover when you don't do it, you're, oh no, my world has collapsed. Or do you just get on the running shoes and try for a further 4 seconds? Do you do it again? Are you somebody who... You see, I would say I'm generally optimistic. I get knocked down a bit, and I do take it to heart. Oh, my God, I take it to heart.
Gosh, doesn't he?
But... What? But I'm generally somebody who will get up and go on, hit me again. Go on. Read the next item. I meant read the next bit of comment.
Mark Selwood says, before meeting Nikki, I was naturally pessimistic, but now I have met the love of my life, I'm totally optimistic.
Oh, that's nice, Pumpkin. From the bottom of my heart. We're so pleased for you. And do you know, that's been going on for so long. It's so nice, and none of us are bored one iota by it. Are we? He says, with a little irony, a tongue-in-cheek, and a lovely warm-hearted nature to somebody I know who can understand and see through the fixed facade that I thrust out. At least I hope it is received with the intent that it was sent with.
Steve Pilfold says, I tend to be pessimistic at work for safety reasons.
Yes.
Plus, I work directly with Southern.
Well, that's true. I mean, I suppose that comes with the territory. There's no point having, you can imagine Steve Pilfold when he was a young whippersnapper going in for the interview.
What do you mean when he was?
Yes, when he was young.
What do you mean when he was?
Well...
He is a whippersnapper.
Yes, all right. But anyway, probably compared to me, yes, thanks. You've just aged me now. But when he was young in his teens, I'm talking about when he was, out of his bootstraps, and he's turning... Come in. What is your name?
Stephen Pilfold.
Right, Stephen Pilfold, sit down over there. We want to ask you some questions about the railway.
Yes, sir.
What makes a train go? This is back when Steve was a youngster.
Coal, sir.
That's right, coal.
There's going to be electricity in the future.
Don't talk such rubbish to us, Pilfold. They will never use electricity or diesel. It hasn't been invented. Coal is the only way forward. Is that your bum?
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, you can imagine him that if he was as a young, optimistic channel hopper, what do you call it, signalman? They're going, oh, the 9:30 from Clapham East has just gone through, and there's a tunnel, and there's another train coming the other way. But it's all right. I've got optimism on my side. It'll be fine. They'll just breeze past. Of course, it's then there's going to be a calamity, and we'll get the Clayton Rail disaster all over again, and it'll all be Steve's fault. Whereas I imagine that being the person that you are, this pessimistic, negative soul that's going, oh my God, doom and gloom. Oh, the train is going in the tunnel, it's going to crash and they're all going to die in horrible agonising deaths, and then they're going to come after me and spook me as ghosts for the rest of my life, and I won't be able to cope. The only refuge I have is the Vobes show. Then I can understand that must be a problem. You probably got medical pills and tablets and people that come and sort you out. What's going on over there?
What? Nothing.
Oh, right, okay. Yes, I can see that being negative in some instances. I did see a programme, actually, they were talking about positive stuff, and there was this bloke on a North Sea oil platform, and they were saying basically the same thing. If you're an optimist here and you think nothing's going to go wrong, you're not going to last for very long. You've got a little smug, smiley face on you tonight.
Oh, I can't imagine why.
No, I can't imagine. Lovely pumpkin, isn't it? Says Kevin Rambles. Yes, thanks, Kevin. Where in Sussex? My initial interview, I had to say what I'd do if I found out there was crows on the line. Well, if there was Croser on the line, surely he would just say to him, stand on the bank and go, here, Robert, come closer, step off the line, dear boy. Or maybe not. What did you have to do if there were crows on the line? Shoot them. You can murder crows, can't you? You're allowed to murder a bunch of crows, I believe.
No. Well, you are actually.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly elite. I think you're actually to aim the express train at them. If it's the local shunt, that's no good. You go,
Calling base. This is International Pilfold here. I'd just like to report in there are actually crows on the line.
OK, Pilfold, never mind the little local shunt. We'll get the National Express in there.
Steve Pilfold says cows, not bloody crows.
cows.
Don't you love it when he reads it properly?
Oh, cows. Slightly, very difficult to get them to fly. And if Robert Croser was standing there, we'd be going, don't come any closer. Certainly I would be going, stay back, stay back. What did you have to do if cows are on the line? That's quite interesting conundrum for a young whippersnapper at the tender age of 11. Back then, I suppose you were talking to George Stephenson, were you? With his rocket and thinking, look, I've just invented this thing called the locomotive. I want it to go up there. Do the locomotive with me. And then he said, well, what would we do if there were cows on the line? Move over, darling. What's that song that goes on? What are you doing? Just carry on eating. Julia's, he's on one. He's on one what? Strawberries, says Joe. Would you throw strawberries? Strawberries at the cows? That's it. Cows, not bloody crows. You are allowed, but don't do it because Ricky and Julia will hunt you down and kill you.
What? Go on the line?
Go on the line? Maybe. I'm not quite sure. Isolate the signals, probably, at home and distant. Oh.
Yes, Linda, that is why I sit on his left.
You would have to move the cows, off the line, of course, says Mark Selwood, using some of that Cornish logic that he's got. They're beautiful down here, aren't they? Isn't it? Come on, cows. Come off the line. Come on now. There's a nice tin mine for you. Do you want to go down there? Come on, we'll take you down the tin mine. That's nice. Push over the edge. Are you lemmings? You look a bit like lemmings. Sorry, Mark. I couldn't resist it. But there we are. Anyway, so that's the power of positive. There's also the power of positive thinking, isn't there? There's that business about, think and grow rich. I do the think and grow bald. Seems to work for me. Seems to work very well. There's a very sweet smell in here. I'm not quite sure what it is. Sweet as a nut.
Caroline. Ba, ba, ba.
Caroline?
Sweet Caroline.
Ba, ba, ba. What comes after that?
I can't remember.
No. Who sung that? Was that Neil Diamond?
I can't remember.
Or was that the one with the hook nose?
I just remember that there was a panto.
Who sung that, Sweet Caroline? Was it Neil Diamond?
Used it.
Sweet Caroline, ba ba ba. No one knows the rest of the song. Ba ba ba. And if you do, write to your MP. Andy Dalgleish says, an almost baldy. I love the fact that we do have Donald Trump's haircut, Boris Johnson's haircut, Kim Jong-un's haircut, in control of the world. Baldness is the positive way forward. Yes,
I think you got something. Oh, you're onto something there, Andy.
Yes, well, you see, they've all got something attached to their head. I'd be no good because mine's all gone. The power has gone. I'm not power mad, luckily. Otherwise, I'd be eating 250-volt batteries.
Steve, I would love to step out of line and just randomly put cream on his head, but there's this lovely new shirt that he's wearing, you see, and I don't want to. This is why I'm hiding the strawberries and cream.
Hiding the strawberries and cream? You've been eating strawberries and cream? When did you get those?
Magic.
Did you bring those into the studio?
When I got them.
You brought those in when I wasn't looking, weren't you?
Hid them behind the bum.
You just sit on my blind side, you.
Would you like one? Yes. You have to eat it very, very carefully.
I'm not going to get this.
Very carefully.
All right, very, very carefully.
Here you go then.
Well, you have to put one. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah. So I get the blame when it all goes.
Yeah. So
wrong.
if this falls on the shirt and it upsets, oh my God! Right.
Is that too much?
No.
Yeah, you don't want to eat the leaves.
No. Leave them out.
Leave it out. Huh?
They're like wine, aren't they? Leave for milsh. Could I have another one?
All right then.
Push my luck here, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get the biggest one we can.
What you mean to get the biggest one to shut my mouth for a bit?
Maybe. I'll have my fingers back though, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Do you need a face wipey thing?
Yeah. It's just a moment of mind your language bit at the moment.
Face wipey thing.
Oh, right, I thought you were going to wipe the face for me.
So, anyway, what's in the darn
Yes, let's get
box?
to what's in the box. What is in that box? They're never going to guess, are they? And I think at 22 the hour, we ought to get it in.
Right, so...
The clue is, I'm wearing a shirt.
It's not English.
It's not
from
English.
across the pond.
It's come across the pond. There's some cufflinks, and there's something that goes matching, but it's missing. You know, where else would you... It's not a hat, and it's not pants. I don't want to upset Julia's innocence, because, you know, she doesn't know about... Even though she's had a baby, she doesn't know how it works. The stork brought it, apparently. That's what she tells me, anyway.
If only, eh?
If only the stork.
Right.
So it's something else. It might be earrings. Oh, hello, nice. I like a nice earring, don't you?
A tie.
A tie, could be a tie. Tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
A bow tie? No.
A bow tie, an electric bow tie.
On the right lines.
Yeah, you're kind of on the right lines, and it's interesting.
It's a tie, but what kind of tie?
Fiona Russell says a wig. Thanks, Fiona. I was warming to you earlier when you said about the shirt man and stuff. Now, I'm afraid you've just ruined your chances.
I think the tie has...
Anne Osborne's kind of got there.
potentially...
Fiona Russell, a
Native
top
American
hat. This has gone up in
origins.
my estimations now. A top hat. Yes, a top hat for a top guy. No, it's not a top hat. Sorry about that. From sheep to the box. It's I think we ought to get it out, really. It's just Fiona says only joking. Thanks. We're going to get it out. Here it is. It's a smaller box. So there we are. It's a small miniature
He's
coffin.
so clever.
Now, you might think, looking at that, it's a Parker pen. I thought that when I saw it. I thought it was going to be one of those lovely, expensive Parker pens that I could sit at night and do my diary with lots of ink in it. And, you know, and what a lovely thing. A nice gold Parker, not even Parker, a more expensive brand. That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought, you know, it was a generous gift. I thought it was going to be a gold bar, actually. I thought it was going to be diamonds, millions of diamonds.
Do you know what? You've been rattling on for so long. I've forgotten what you're talking about.
What's in the box?
What's in this box?
Yes, what is in it? I think you're going to have to open it and show everybody.
Well, everyone's right in the sense that it is a tie.
Yes.
But it is specifically a bojo tie.
A what tie?
Bojo, apparently. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that
A
correctly.
bojo?
Yes.
You know what bojo is, don't you?
Well, it's got several meanings around the world.
Yes. I don't want...
Yes, there's Boris Johnson, yeah.
You said it's a bojo tie.
Yes. Well, it's Native American in origin, although it's... it's now worn as part of the Western...
Culture.
Yes, the Western...
So it goes around one's neck, from what I understand.
Lovely leather cord.
So, there we are, look. What's the chances of that happening, eh? What are the chances?
Stay still.
So I was just doing my Harry Hill impression.
Yeah,
What are the chances, eh? Sorry.
I just don't want to corrupt you there.
Yeah, no. This is all very fun, isn't it?
Don't know how far up it would go.
I don't know either.
You
I
can do
don't.
your collar.
You can do your collar, yes, Mum.
Well, what am I, a dresser?
Well, so I might need advice. There may be people out there who knows whether it goes right
It's
up.
not a naff cowboy tie. It's very nice.
I don't know if it goes up to the top here or whether it goes down. It's got these. These are matching. Anyway, that's what it is. So now I just need a Stetson and a pair of leather tong shoes. Winkle pickers, whatever it is. Crocodile. What are those things that go round? The clackers on the bottom. You know, they're like star-shaped and they whiz round like clackers, like you get in the football match. They're like little ratchets. Cowboy shoes, and they have them, you know.
Spurs.
Yes, Spurs. That's I told you. Just as you get at football matches, go the Spurs, go the Spurs. All right, Tottenham Hotspurs. Could be taken on holiday. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Know what I mean? Pull it on tight, says Fiona Russell. Got to pull it on tight. How do you do that? I don't even know how it works. Oh, what, garrot him? Is that what she means?
Yes, that's what she means, I think.
Is that how it goes right up tight like that? Let's have a look. Spurs, yeah, there we go. Robert probably isn't. Cowboy tie, Linda Kane. Ooh, one of those American things cowboys wear, says put it on tight. Need to wear it over your checked shirts, says Linda Kane. Oh, yeah, my checked shirts, that would be good. I support them coys. Right. Dean, I will have JD and Coke, thanks, says Laura Riddle.
Dean Cooper said he gave up and went to the pub.
Oh, right, fair enough. That can happen. Happens to. I'm surprised anybody's actually watching any of this nonsense. Yes, sorry.
And Fiona Russell was joking about pulling it tight.
Oh, you were joking about pulling it tight. Oh, thanks.
I thought she was.
Yeah, so...
Can I loosen it now?
Yeah, you can.
Thank you. It doesn't look comfortable or nice.
So we don't really know. We need to go and have a look at a picture, really, and see how it works.
Try and do a bit of research.
I'm not sure I really carry off the cowboy look. But, anyway. There we are. Come on, you Spurs coys. Are they coy? Are they a bit coy, like carp? Are they a bit coy? Come on. How you come? Come on, you coy boys.
I said bojo, didn't I?
Yeah.
It was bolo.
Bolo tie.
A bolo tie. Sometimes a bowler tie or shoestring necktie.
Yeah,
is a type of necktie consisting of a piece of cord or braided leather with decorative metal tips called aiguillettes and secured with an ornamental clasp or slide.
There we are. Always handy if your shoelace breaks, says Mark Selwood. Do you know, that's a very good point. Fiona Russell says, next he'll want a horse. Get off your horse and drink your milk. What's that quote from? Get off your horse and drink your milk. I think that was John Wayne in some film, but I had no idea. A bolo tie, says Barbara Childs. Yes, well done. There we go. Coy means come on, you Spurs. Oh, coys. Oh, not soys. They're not soy boys, are they? Apparently, that soy milk drains all the testosterone in you. If you're one of those people who are drinking soy milk, be careful. You won't be able to first thing in the morning. You know what I'm talking about? It won't happen. True grit. There we are. True grit. Get off your horse and drink your milk. I have no idea. I can't remember how True Grit goes. It's years since I saw it. Or, as Linda Kane says, the fan belt. I was reliably informed that we don't have fan belts anymore. We have timing chains. Make of that what you will, he says, looking at the clock to see if we can get off early. But apparently not. We have a book here in the studio, and tomorrow the video will be featuring this book. It's a different book. It's a different book than the dried flowers one that we just looked at. Not that they were dried.
Dried flowers? British wildflowers.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So this is the Church Explorer's Handbook by Clive Fewin. And tomorrow's video on the Bald Explorer, the lovely Julia and I, because Julia can't do one of the church walks. I tried to persuade her, but she just managed to get as far as the Lich Gate and said, oh, God, I need to sit down. And I said, well, that's not going to go down very well, is it? So I managed to produce out of my...
I love hearing these stories that
never
supposedly happened.
Yes. I produced out of my pocket a little whimsy. She said, put that away. It looks very flimsy. I said, all right, I've got my Church Explorer's Handbook instead. She said, that's more like it. It's a tome of a book.
Linda Kane says she's got that on her shelf.
Oh, well, look again.
Because it's right here.
Yeah.
You're funny.
When you weren't looking, we went hunting. So, yeah, we've got that book, and we've made a video about hunting around the book. But it's interesting because we didn't go into the church. We're exploring the churchyard, where they have these stone tombs. And now I know in this country you're not supposed to blow the bloody doors off. You're not supposed to exhume the graves. But there really was nobody about, and somebody had left a spade in the ground. So the lovely Julia said, "Hey, Rich," she said, when we're off camera, she calls me Rich. She thinks I'm loaded. She said, "Hey, Rich, why don't we dig up a corpse? That could be fun, don't you think? And I said, "Julia, you're acting very odd." She said, "Hey, sport, come on now. Let's dig up some old cow." I said, "Who are you thinking?" She said, "Here, Margaret Atwood. She's been dead for a while." And I said, "What, the writer? Is she dead? I think she's still alive, isn't she?" She didn't say any of that. I may have made that up. Padding, you see. It's called padding. It's called entertainment. That's what it's called.
No, I'm comfort eating.
Yeah. Now she's bored. Anyway, we went in there. We made a video. And it's coming out tomorrow. I've got yet to do the thumbnail and the description, but it'll all be ready by the time you get up, hopefully. And it's something to look forward to. We've got part 2 to film, and we may film some of that tomorrow.
And
For Friday.
Robert Croser says, "True grit, Rooster Cogburn only had one eye as well."
Well, there we are. I was made for the part. Rooster Cogburn. There's a name you don't hear very often. You don't see the postman going down the road going,
"I'm looking for 32 Acacia Avenue, in case you're asking. Rooster Coghill. Does he live round here?"
No, I don't think Rooster Coghill lives round here, but Hen Ratchet Mound, he's only round the corner. I try, ladies and gentlemen.
Very trying.
But to make this young lady laugh...
You'll have to try hard.
It's very tricky after 18 months. But there we go. Corpse Bride. Yeah, nice. Sounds like my ex, says Robert Croser. Mark Selwood says Julia is gorging us. Yeah, she says she's pregnant. I say she's eaten all the pies. And by the 21st of August, we'll know whether it's...
I'll tell you something for nothing.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody goes through all this fuss if it ain't a baby.
That's probably true. Although I don't really know how it works. Never having had babies myself. By the way, it's my son Stanley's 29th birthday. He's 29 today. His birthday is the day after mine. He is 29, so I just want to say on a personal message, he's not watching, he's not interested in anything I do anymore. He used to be. I used to be a god to my child, to all of my children. There was a time, and you'll find this, where you are the universe. You are the reason for existence, which is an obvious statement, but you really are, and it's so lovely. That all goes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm afraid to say, if you are having young children...
With my thinking about my 8-year-old is like, really?
Yeah. It will go. You will not be the centre of their universe. You will just be this thing that you have to remember once a year, because otherwise that person gets grumpy and says, "Oh, you didn't even bother to send me a card." But if you don't send them something... "Oh, my God, Dad, I didn't get anything from you. I've got nothing. What's the matter?" "Well, you always used to say, I'll have this or nothing." So I said, "Well, you can have nothing then." No, I'm lying all about that. My kids are lovely. They're absolutely lovely. Anyway, happy birthday to my son, Stanley, who is 29 today. 29 years ago, he popped out of his mother's bits. Which is not something I ever thought I'd ever see, but when he came out, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this. When he came out, he had a full head of hair, if not to already add insult to me by coming out with a full head of hair, and I was bald as a coot 29 years ago. Bloody astounding that was. Robert Croser says, "I quite agree. The bolo tie," says Joe Merchant, "was in the box."
Because someone asked what was...
I was in there.
Yeah, someone asked, let's do the what's in the box.
Can we go back to what's in the box, says Mark Selwood. We've done it. Mark's finished, isn't it? Isn't it?
It says, yes, what's in the box, Roger Young.
Jen's Allotment Adventures says, "Happy birthday to the two of you." To my son and myself. Yes, thank you so much, Jen. By the way, thank you, Jen, for all your lovely comments on the YouTube videos. It's very kind, on the Bald Explorer stuff. I have actually watched a couple of your videos, and very nice they are too. Mark Selwood says, he, yes, I quite agree. Laura Riddle says, "Anyway, my daughter was wanting me yesterday when they were having a baby." Yes.
Aww.
Yes, there does come that point where you start becoming useful again when they've got a baby and they want to go out of an evening. And it's like, here's your grandson. Oh, yeah, thanks. Thanks very much. I know, I don't know who you are. I don't know what your name is. I don't know where you come from and what's this sticky substance coming out. 29 years ago, I can't remember that back. I can't even remember what video I made yesterday. I didn't make a video yesterday, did I? But I put one out. I can't remember it. Some walk somewhere. Usually are. We have 7 minutes on the clock, ladies and gentlemen, to finish before we fly off. Thank God, I've got to take you home, haven't I?
Yeah. Our Gibb fan says, today is not my birthday, if anyone was wondering.
Who's that? R. Gibb?
Me too. Happy unbirthday to you and me. R. Gibb fan.
Who's an R. Gibb? What does that mean, R. Gibb?
Well, I'm guessing it's one of the Gibb brothers.
R. Gibb? What Gibb brothers?
Wait.
Oh, what, is in the Bee Gees?
Yeah.
Are they Gibbs?
Well...
Not, who are the people who make Colgate? Aren't they something to do with Gibb? Give it me a hint. No, I can't think. Surely you're not old enough to be a granny. I'm not. You're quite right. Thank you very much. I'm not old enough to be a granny, but the sad news is I am old enough to be a granddad. And I've just had another bloody birthday. That crept up on me without asking. But don't worry. I'm not in double figures yet.
It seems I maybe I'm correct about our Gibb fan.
Our Gibb fan?
As in... the Bee Gees.
Well, yeah, what's the R stand for? Roger.
Isn't it Robert?
Ronald?
Isn't it Robert?
Raymond.
Oh my God.
Ragu, like that bloke.
Because Robert shortens to Bob.
Rabbit Cogmound.
I'm just chucking it out there. I can't remember what the R stands for.
Maybe it's Rachel.
Robin Gibb, of course.
Yes, Robin Gibb, like his brother Banks. Yes, a year younger than me, apparently. Keep up, says Robin Gibb fan. Yeah, we are trying to keep up, but you try sitting here talking to you lot for an hour and sitting next to me gabbling on. It's not easy, is it?
No.
It's
not easy sitting next to me gabbling away either, is it?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've now come to another of those moments where the lovely... another of those moments that we invented earlier in the show, if you were watching earlier, where the lovely Julia reads something.
Oh.
And so the lovely Julia is going to read a little bit from the church manual book at that page which we selected earlier today. I have no idea what it says. And it's talking about maidens' garlands.
Okay then. Let's try. Maidens' garlands. These are a great oddity, worth seeking out because they are so rare and so few people seem to have heard of them.
I've never heard of them.
Otherwise known as virgins' crowns or krantz, maidens' garlands, krantz.
Krantz.
Krants.
Everybody needs a krant, don't they?
Maidens' garlands were garlands of real or imitation flowers carried in the funeral procession of a maiden. After the funeral, they were usually hung over the relevant family pew. The practice was observed in the 18th century. The best collections still to be seen in parish churches are at Abbots Ann in Hampshire, Ashford in the Water in Derbyshire, Minsterley in Shropshire, and St Stephen's Old Church in, Fylingdales, F-Y-L-I-N-G Dales, North Yorkshire. There is also an example at Walsham-le-Willows in Suffolk.
So there we are.
There you go.
You can all rush out now and see if you can find those maiden garlands. Talking of that, you were talking about dangling them on the pews, and it reminded me, did we have this conversation about Pew Pew, Barley McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble and Grubb?
Yes, I think we did have that, and I had no idea what you was talking about.
She had no idea. If I say the words Pew Pew, Barley McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble and Grubb, automatically everybody knows that is the names of the gentlemen who work at Trumpton Fire Station. But Julia didn't know that, you see. Pew Pew. Here we are, Trumpton, there we are. And they come down, Pew Pew, Barley McGrew. And I said, isn't it strange that a mother would have, there would be two people, you know, because it sounds like they're brothers, two people would be called Pew and Pew, you know, as their names. Hello Pew, Barley McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble and Grubb. Then Julia said something very sensible, which I hadn't even occurred to me.
It's their surname, isn't it, Pew?
That it's their and then I thought, well, isn't it strange that two people from the village would have the same name, John Pugh and Frank Pugh, for example, Barley McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble and Grubb. And then you said another bit of worldly women's wisdom, that they might be brothers.
Yes.
Yes, and I thought, oh yes, of course, you know. What's the chances, eh? An older brother and a younger brother. Pew Pew, Barley McGrew, Cuthbert Dibble and Grubb. They were the days. 4 minutes to 9. They started 5 minutes early. If they had just done 60 minutes, they could have been in the Castle Tavern by now, says Steve Pilfold, who knows exactly where I live. I enjoy all the jokes that fly under the radar, says Mike. Yeah, says Marks. Yes, I do try to pepper the show with jokes, even if nobody gets them. I know the saying, not the law. Nice gag, Richard. Robin Banks, a classic. Dun dun dun. Hey! Julia's got...
I was just checking what krantz actually means.
Yes, what is krantz?
It literally just means maidens' garlands, virgins' crowns.
So it means that literally, does it?
Literally, that's all it means, is what I mean by literally.
Oh, right, fair dues.
Taking the mick out of me for using the word literally.
Well, literally doesn't mean that at all. Literally means if you bump into somebody and you say, oh, I bumped into Fred down the town earlier today, it means you actually bumped into him so that you've made physical contact. That's a literal translation of the verb to bump. People use that. It drives me mad. I know it's accepted English now, and people will go, "Oh, literally," literally, as if to say, "I really mean what I say." But that's not what literally means. 'Tis, you know, people will use this term completely wrongly, and then others will say, but English is a living language. It's moving on. It's moving all the time and developing, which is true to a point. Except that if you take away the meaning of one word and you give it a whole new meaning, then how do you know what the meaning was in the first place? So when you actually mean you literally bumped into someone, as in you bumped into them physically, how would you know if you're just thinking, oh, you're just using literally in the it really did happen. I'm emphasizing it. I did it literally. It's like, yeah, what and? So it drives me up the wall. It really does. You can see.
Literally.
Not literally, of course, although that example was a literal interpretation.
It doesn't matter how you use it, he just gets the hump when you use the word literally.
I literally...
Literally does.
No, I don't literally get the hump, because I'd have to actually then have a hump.
I wish I could have said it. How do you take a word and grab it out of the air and then shove it back down your throat?
Yes, that's true. I enjoy flying the. You two have such deep conversations. We do.
Don't we just?
Yes, the lovely Julia and I. You know, when we're sitting on our own at a bus stop waiting for the ride to take us to the next filming location, we are deep in very important conversations. Pew pew, Barley McGrew. Imagine pew and pew. Gosh, it's an interesting thing.
If it's their surnames, says Steve Pilfold,
yes.
Why does McGrew get called Barney McGrew?
Well, maybe
because otherwise it doesn't fit in rhyme poetically.
That might be his
like
surname. He might be Johnny Barney McGrew. You know, he's just double-barrelled. You know,
Really?
They have double-barrelled names in Trumpton, don't you know? Oh, yes, of course. So I reckon it's just a double barrel, Barney McGrew. Barney's not his first name, actually. Barney's definitely not his first. I think it's more like Todd. That would be more like his Todd Barney McGrew. You know, on a little place like Trumpton, there can't be very many Todd Barney McGrews. I would hesitate. You know, and on his off days, he's a singer, sewing machine repairman when he's not going down the pole. That's what he does. Todd Barney McGrew. He is a singer sewing machine repairman. That's what he does in his suicide. Yes, I think we should.
Thumbs up, I do it. Thumbs down, I don't.
To end the show, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Julia is now going to swallow
Chug.
14 tons of wonderful fresh cream straight from the dairy down her gullet. And over to you. Drum roll, please. Mind my book.
Book. No, I'm not seeing any answers. Guess what? I'm going to do it anyway.
Is it? Ladies and gentlemen, we've just been taken off our air by the Internet Standards Organisation for
That was yummy.
Creaming in her mouth. But anyway.
You have such a way with words.
Let
me just vomit now.
We have literally had our money's worth tonight, says Mark Selwood. You have. Not literally, but you have had it. You've actually had it. Change it to actually, and it would work so much better.
Actually.
Yes, I actually did this. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've been entertained. If not, please write on the back of a £20 note. Send it to me, care of my rest home, and I'll make sure I buy some rum and Coke with it. Not that I drink rum and Coke, but I'll just make sure I buy some for a passing person. So there we are. Fantastic show as always. Julia is the cream of the show. Oh, yes. Thank you, Dean. That's very good. Any more bad jokes, please send them our way. Bye all. Bye, says Claire. How disgraceful, Richard. LOL. Yes, I am a complete and utter disgrace, but she started it. And that will be on my epitaph when I am buried. She started it. Now I feel something cold and slug-like on my pate. What an evil...
couldn't resist it in the end.
Yes, there we go. You're going to have to lick it off. That's not licking it off, is it? It's been such an enjoyable hour tonight. Let's meet up again next week. Yes, Mark, good idea. I think that would be very beautiful, isn't it? Good night, everyone, says Kevin Rambles. Good night from the Vobie, One-Eyed Kenobi, and the lovely Julia.
Love you all, darlings.
For all you know, next week she may be a pop-in. But that would be still too early.
A few more weeks.
Too early. Wednesday the 21st, join us live when Julia gives birth on the Vobes show.
Actually, apparently it's the 24th. I've been saying the 21st, but apparently it's the 24th my due date. But
it's the 24th. We would be doing live from Worthing Hospital. I'm taking Bessie down, not Essie, Bessie down there, and we will be covering the event live, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want you to miss every gasp or scream or breathing or gas and air or epidural of it.
Guess where he's going to find his camera?
Yeah, we've got the endoscopy all ready, so it'll be...
Anyone want to explore his bowels?
Hell's...
I can't believe I've said that.
Yeah, neither can I.
What on earth?
Anyway, until next time, thank you for watching, and good night, good night, good night. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye. Hey. Bye-bye.